Has anyone got any idea what a car looks like? I don't give a f***. I don't punch dogs. That's enough to give you pause.
Yeah, it was second now. Well,
19. No, 19. Right, good. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Voltsmonster Interactive. This is episode 19, and if you're old enough, you'll remember what that's about. It was all about Vietnam. There was lots of Vietnam War films.
Saigon.
Saigon. The funniest thing about those films were most of them were crap, and Hamburger Hill was probably one of the worst.
That was pretty awful, yeah.
Followed by Full Metal Jacket, which is made by a really famous director. I can't remember who it was. Stanley Kubrick. We were talking about Stanley Kubrick the other day, and I said some of his films are shit. There is a good example of a shit Stanley Kubrick film. And do you know why it was shit?
why was it shit?
Because it was filmed in the East End of London.
Right. That's understandable, but
Full
I
Metal
thought it was
Jacket?
Yeah.
In the East End of London?
Yeah, on the Beckton Gasworks.
And it was scheduled for demolition. Kubrick's right-hand man, Leon Vitali, said that the Beckton Gasworks was, quote, constructed by the same company of architects that built the city of Hue in Vietnam. Here are some shots of Beckton when it was up and running during the 60s. Kubrick said, "We worked from still photographs of Hue in 1968, and we found an area that had the same 1930s functionalist architecture."
So you know all the blown up buildings and things? That was actually the half demolished Beckton Gasworks.
Interesting.
Little nugget of film shit that I don't really know much about.
accurate.
Do they shoot any musicals there? You like musicals?
They did shoot a musical there.
No!
They did! Actually, it wasn't a musical, but they did shoot. I think it was either Blur.
Well, my fucking ears are in pain, fucking hearing your fucking voice, you twat. You know what I mean? You're right, you know, music should be a fucking uplifting thing.
Or Oasis. There was a thing with a helicopter flying around in it. That was done there as well.
Okay.
It was probably the same helicopter from Full Metal Jacket.
Okay.
But anyway, slightly off topic. With me today is Virgil and Karen.
And you, of course.
And of course,
you always introduce yourself.
I always fail to introduce myself. I am obviously here because I'm obviously the one speaking.
Yeah, we did have a conversation, and you're not really fond of the name The Gaffer, are you?
No, I don't really know the name Gaffer.
No, so we're going to change it to The Gagger.
The Gagger.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, have you been speaking to my wife?
Well, let's not get into that. But, no, it just suits you, doesn't it?
Brilliant. But do you know what we have today?
What? Please say a letter. Yes.
We've got a letter.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And it will be probably the usual standard of weird shit that we have to comment on.
Fantastic. Have you looked over it yet, or is it just going to be?
I did briefly read it and went, "Oh my god!"
Right.
Is that good? Is it?
Right.
It's a bit weird, is all I can say.
Well, they're not normally normal,
But
are they? Our viewers aren't really the normal type.
No, but that's why they should like and subscribe. And press the bell, because then they can join the other fellow weirdos.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have, I think, 3 stories today from the exciting world of EV, and it's been one of those EV weeks where we've got weird news from Fisker, who make a really good car and threatening to run out of money. You've got Rivian saying we can't produce enough cars. We've got Elon Musk saying that, well, just making something up and suing someone. I forget who he's now suing. But he's suing someone.
He's always suing somebody, isn't he?
He's basically suing someone for not being nice to humanity or something. That's his latest thing. So well done, GigaWallet, for doing that.
Yeah.
And we should probably move to the first story. Who's we going to?
Let's go with Rivian, the Rivian story, which I believe is yours.
Well, yes. So Rivian announced this week, like all US manufacturers, they're adopting the GigaWallet standard of EV charging. Obviously, the reason for that is the American government said that all chargers had to have 2 or more charge heads on them, one had to be NACS. Because Gigawallet insisted and lobbied and annoyed as many politicians as he could. So they wrote that into the thing. So no one wants to produce EV chargers with 2 charge heads.
Yeah.
So they just produce 2 charge heads of the same one, rather than Gigawallet just adopting CCS, which is patently better.
This is just an excuse to spread his network even further, isn't it? Like, you know.
Yeah.
Not unusually for Gigawallet, it is him spreading something. Obviously, in this case, this is not producing any more children. So,
but I mean, like 15,000 more fast chargers is quite a good.
But it's not 15,000 more chargers. It just gives them access to ones that they weren't allowed to use before.
In the first place, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's it's free for them, isn't it? So.
But only if you drive a Rivian with the new plug.
Oh, okay.
And so if you've got a Rivian with the old plug, you actually still have as many charges as you had the day before.
Oh, well, that's.
And to be fair, Tesla's is probably the only charging network in America which is actually working.
Yes, consistently. Obviously, ChargePoint America have developed their own charger, which apparently is performing quite well relative to the old crappy ones that they bought before.
That's relative. Yeah.
Look, everything is relative.
Everything's relative.
You know, ask your wife.
She is a relative. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, so
look, there isn't too much about it other than Rivian get to use the charger, and the question is, will it work? But they are sending out an adapter.
And we know that Tesla
adapters do not have a very good reputation for working ever. But anyway, I think last week Ford opened up to Tesla.
Yeah, right there. See, yeah.
Ah, look, Ford's on Thursday. There you go.
Ford's on Thursday. Could be a...
Can't be a Ford on a Thursday.
The Ford on Thursday.
And if you are buying a car, today is in the UK the new registration. So instead of having 73 as your number plate,
74.
You get 04. No, you don't. You get 74.
I presume so.
Oh, I forget. It's the most. We've now got the most confusing system. Before, you just had a letter at the end. But the strangest thing is, we never ran out of letters before. And then they brought out this new system, which is confusing.
So it was the suffix letter, and then it became the prefix letter.
And then it went back to the suffix. It went back again, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
I'm not old enough for this shit.
So it all started
go on.
in 1900-something.
History lessons.
And you had numbers and letters. So one of the most valuable number plates anywhere in the world is 1A.
Wow.
Right? Because that is like the first number plate. And then one of the next most valuable ones was the Rolls-Royce one, which is 1RR.
Okay.
Nice.
And it kind of goes on like that. And then
we got to be Lady Penelope's, isn't it?
It's got to be in that.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, I'm Virgil.
Oh, he's a bit slow.
No, I'm not slow, so I got it straight away. Just didn't laugh.
You just went, Lady Penelope. Ooh.
Just like the puppets I am.
Do you fancy Lady Penelope?
What, in the puppet version or the real life?
Take your pick.
I mean,
I know you and puppets.
Well, that's not accurate. But no, the live action one was pretty good. Yeah.
The live action Penelope.
Yeah. I think Parker's sort of got a bit of an in there.
Yeah, but Parker has even bigger eyebrows than you.
He does actually. Yeah. He's got a bit of.
He's got like furry slug eyebrows.
Yeah.
What was the number of it? Your first number plate of your first car, what was it? Can you remember?
What, the entire registration number?
Entire registration number.
No chance. I've had way too many cars.
Your first car? Surely.
No.
Hello U411L, that was my first one.
Well, that's easy to remember, isn't it?
I can't remember mine. But...
I seem to remember it was a D-Reg. So it was 1986.
Yeah.
And then mine started with WA something.
You haven't owned a car?
No, a bike.
What bike?
A shit bike. It's a Sim. It's a Sim 50cc. That was my first bike. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah.
Did you buy it from Trago Mills? I bet you bought it from Trago Mills.
I didn't. It was PGH in Torquay.
Right.
Who are now not PGH.
So where is it now?
I gave it to my dad, who then rode it for about 6 months before he gave it to the tip.
You give it to your dad, he said, fuck that, and get it back.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, but I drove it for 5 years.
My God.
5 years on a 50, that's not bad actually.
Yeah, it's not. And
5
it was
years on a
second-hand as
50
well.
is
How many
enough.
miles did you do?
I rode about 14, 15 miles a day. So, yeah, that's not bad, is it?
That's not bad.
That's enough to give you pause.
Yeah, it was second hand. But, I mean, why do you think I'm sitting like this?
That might have been something your girlfriend did. Anyway, moving on. Next story.
Next story, let's go with mine. So, Elon Musk's bullshit. The new Roadster hitting 60 miles an hour in under 1 second. There'll never be another car like this. I just think it's a bit...
But do you know what? Right?
Is that... Can you though? I mean...
Well, there is a point here. Technically, he owns a company, and he's a car company, and he's marketing it based on its speed.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a breach of the advertising standard. You're not allowed to do it.
Really,
it's not very responsible.
Mm-hmm.
And all that's going to happen is I love a fast car, but what is going to happen is some do-gooder, right, is going to go, why do you not allow them to do that? Let's restrict them. Let's make them drive at 5 miles an hour, like they do in Wales. Sorry, that's 20 miles an hour. But they just... What is the point? I'm all for safety, and genuinely, there is a time and a place for a 20 mile an hour limit.
Mm-hmm.
But it isn't like where they are mostly in Wales. And the worst thing about Wales, while I'm ranting about Wales, right, is some villages you drive through are 20, and then you drive through the next village and it'll be 30. And then you get to the next village which has got hazard, and it's a 40. Those people who live in the village with the 40 are clearly not worth as much as the people that are in the 20 village, are they?
No, they're not.
They don't deserve safety.
Sheep shaggers.
Well, that's a bit controversial.
Happy New Year, you bunch of sheep shaggers!
That's a little bit,
But
I mean, we've said worse.
Are you saying that people who live in a village that deserves 40 are sheep shaggers, and that's why?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, it's not exactly looked upon as... I mean, it is there. This one isn't, the norm, but...
What the fuck did you just say?
And what I have noticed about my Discovery when you drive it in Wales, right, it's almost impossible to drive at 20 because where the gearing is, it changes up and then makes you drive faster than 20 mile an hour. Because it kind of hunts around because it's got like an 11-speed gearbox or something. It kind of goes, and then goes into the next gear, and you go, "Oh, I'm now driving faster." So I'm not on anything, but I'm still driving faster.
But that kind of defeats the object of, other than a safety reason, of having a 20 mile an hour limit. So if you're doing it for environmental reasons or ecological
that's not
reasons,
environmentally acceptable.
Exactly,
changing up and down
gear all the time. So you're using so much fuel, so that's ridiculous.
So anyway, blame Drakeford, the former First Minister of Wales, who was a scruffy, useless thing. He killed their NHS, put them all out of work, pretty much. What else did you expect? And he was Labour.
Yeah.
So if you are voting for Starmageddon, just look at Wales. Look what's coming.
I don't really tend to look at Wales very much. But...
Gorgeous George has made a comeback today, though, wasn't he? So
who?
Gorgeous George.
Who's Gorgeous George?
George, former MP George.
Oh, Galloway. That mad bastard.
He's making a comeback.
He's always making a comeback because he lasts for one parliament. In this case, he'll last for about 4 months. And then they'll go, Jesus Christ, why did we vote for him? And don't tell me he's basically converted to Hinduism or Islam or whatever.
I don't know what he is this week, but...
and he's basically chasing that vote as usual. Because previously he basically went to Scotland and pretended to be Scottish. And then obviously he then came back to London or wherever it was and then pretended to be from East London.
They have no idea what the bloody hell I'm talking about.
And then annoyed everyone there.
Then he went to the Big Brother house.
He did go to the Big... And didn't he suck someone's toes?
Yeah, it was really...
Oh, God, that's a really bad thought.
He was a cat, wasn't he? Yeah.
He was a cat.
Right.
So you have to Google George Galloway Very controversial. He's a
brother.
controversial British politician.
Mhm.
Basically blows with the wind.
With the wind.
Or gets blown as a cat in a Big Brother house. Roughly.
Yeah.
That's a rough summary of his life.
Oh, well, I'll do that when I go.
He's Scottish. Won't hold that against him because my mother's Scottish.
See. Fucking hell.
Anyway.
Anyway, back to my story.
Back to your story.
Yeah. So
it's on GB
Elon's-
News, so it must be true.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's not quote marks there. They're just apostrophes. But I think it has the shot of being the most mind-blowing product demo of all time. So he's just shitting big again, isn't he? Really? He's going to say something. And it's going to be bloody just trading along.
I tell you what, Elon. I challenge you to a race.
Oh.
Go on.
Huh?
Is he going to take this up? Come on.
I don't know. I'll challenge you to a race. You pick the vehicle. I'll
rockets.
beat you.
He's got rockets though.
I don't give a fuck. I will find a bigger rocket just to annoy you. Look, what's the worst thing that can happen? I come second.
Or you blow up.
Well, there is that.
Yeah.
But
Into a space shuttle. Columbia.
Fucking hell.
that's like that joke, isn't it? What does NASA stand for?
Well, you told me this the other day.
It's not got that good memory. It was only about a week ago.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
It was.
Need another 7 astronauts,
Oh, fucking hell.
or in their case, another.
Shit.
So if you are in America and you will now hate us because they don't like any form of dissing of.
They don't.
But my son the other day did tell me because he was watching a thing about Challenger, and I said obviously I was there watching it. I came home from school and watched it on the TV happen, and it wasn't a very nice event,
I
right?
was about to go on stage, but I remember it really well.
You were about to go on stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was this in your Magic Mike days?
No, I was at college. It was in the college production of Chicago. And I know
Oh, dear God.
You hate musicals, so there you go.
I particularly hate Chicago. Right, but
Chicago's
anyway.
great.
I love Chicago as well.
So I said,
Rocky Horror is like my favourite of all time. But
There you go.
why?
why? It's about a transvestite.
Oh yeah, of course. There you go. There's the answer. So,
Don't call me Virgil the Vestite for nothing.
Oh dear. So at least we're making fun. At least we're making fun of it. But so anyway, Sully is there watching it on the TV, and he went. I went. It's really sad, like, because look how happy they were before they left, right? And he went. Well, they didn't die when it blew up. They actually died when it hit the water. And he's 8. I went, really?
Because
And he went,
Sully does do a little bit of analysis of like plane crashes.
he does love a
So you
plane
can
crash.
imagine he probably went into that in great
does.
detail.
He probably had gone into that in great detail.
I remember when you went on holiday and he was a bit pissed off when he came back and you asked him why. He said, because the plane didn't crash.
Well, before we went on that holiday, he actually said, when we go on holiday, is it possible that we could crash and then if I just lost a leg, right, then I'd be cool?
Only losing a leg, just one leg.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
In a plane crash.
is it possible? I don't think losing a leg is considered cool, but he's got dreams at least.
He does have an ambition
He does.
to survive a plane crash. I have
does.
no interest in surviving a plane crash. I just want to just survive.
If you lost a finger and had a gold replacement one on there, then that would be cool. But
Is that like
no.
Goldie with his teeth? Did he actually lose them? Did someone punch them out
Maybe.
and he got
Maybe.
Fred like, oh, gold teeth?
Anyway, so as we were saying, so he's
Getting
saying,
back to the EVs.
he's saying there will never be another car like this if you could even call it a car. So he is, I think he's sort of trying to imagine
He's
the next
really selling
generation.
it. Well,
Yeah.
did he go to the Richard Branson School of Marketing? A bit, like in 2003 or whatever it was, when he went, Richard Branson stood up and went, that plane over there, which wasn't his,
It wasn't
he
his.
went,
Oh,
we will
fuck
go
me.
to space. And they're all looking around going, what's he talking about? It's not his.
But
Right?
he's-
And he said, in 2 years, we'll be in space. 20
20
years later,
we're still waiting, Richard.
we're still waiting, Richard.
We
Oh,
are.
beady-faced man.
But I mean, like, look at that comment. Isn't that just a bit
Yeah.
like fucking hell?
I think this is a bit like publishing on Twitter that you're going to take Tesla private again, and they get into a lot of trouble with the SEC. He also got into trouble for pretty much overstating what he was going to do with Twitter before he ruined it.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Anyway,
But
look,
he'll come out next week and then say, "Oh no, it's actually shit, and it was all just a lie."
yeah, it's good that he's not named it after one of his children, though.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've given them credit as well. As a photographer, they are pretty good photos.
They're not photos;
I know.
they're renders.
I know.
There's not a
It has to
single
ruin it, doesn't it?
accurate photograph
That's
in
why
that
it's so
image.
good.
Huh?
So that's why the colour's so good on it. Yeah.
Yeah, the colour's brilliant on it on the basis it was done on a computer. It's not a real car.
Right, next story.
And you're a photographer, you should know that.
I do. I just didn't want it to be. Alright, cheers, mate. Thank you. So next up, Mark.
So this is news that Fiat are going to be removed from themselves from the mini car market and going for mid-range and
Why?
Because I guess it's probably sharing the Stellantis platform.
Hang on a second, right? Can I just point out that the one thing Fiat have done consistently well
really well
is small cars,
Small cars, definitely.
right?
Yeah.
You cannot fault Fiat small cars ever,
Okay.
right? Even like the in-betweener Cinquecento. It was still a perfectly good car.
Cinquecento.
Was it a 600 or was it a 500? I forget.
Cinque, not Cinque. Cinque.
Why are you pulling me up on my Italian?
Mamma mia.
I'm not Italian. If I was Italian, you could pick me
Just
up
got
on
it
it.
500. Like.
Fucking hell. Right? The Fiat Panda,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
owned one. I actually owned a 4x4 Fiat Panda because I used to take it onto an airfield. And to
They
be
are
fair,
awesome little
it
cars.
used to get out of muddy situations far better than any of the Series 2 Land Rovers at the airfield. I think this is a mistake.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Look, I don't mind. Look, they're bringing out a new Panda, which is cool because the Panda has always been cool, right? But why would you remove yourself from the one market that you were always really successful at,
True. Yeah. Apart from
and put yourself
the one that
in?
wasn't that successful was that if we go down a bit to their mid-range platform, which they're calling a Mega Panda, is going to become known as the Strada. And if you remember the Fiat Strada back into the
Yes, the Fiat Strada was a terrible car.
It was a terrible
In fact, you could see it rusting before your eyes.
And then there was the famous not 9 o'clock news joke of the model car pile up on the motorway, and there was the thing when the Strada came out, they made a huge thing that it was built by robots. So
Oh yeah,
the not 9 o'clock news spoof was built by robots, driven by Italians, and there was a multiple.
yeah.
pile up on the
That
motorway.
would end up in a huge crash. But all they're doing is putting more they're making what I call the Land Rover paradox mistake, right? So what Land Rover have done wrong for the last couple of years is they made niche cars on the same platform as other niche cars they had, and it resulted in them taking their customers and dividing them by the number of products they had.
Right.
So if you take Land Rover, they basically had what was the Freelander that became the Discovery Sport. The Discovery Sport is effectively a Range Rover Evoque, which is essentially a Jaguar E-Pace or E-Pace. And so it went on like that. And all they basically did was had like 5 cars at 40 grand. So when you walked into a Land Rover dealership, you went,
40 grand.
I've got 40 grand.
Which one am I going to go for?
Which car am I going to buy? Because they're all exactly the same. They just look slightly different. Stellantis are making the same mistake because they're putting every brand in the same segment. So you'll go to Peugeot and go, 3000008 or whatever it is, and you go, it's got a really small steering wheel. And then you go to Citroen and you get the DS3, I think, and you go, it looks like a training shoe, but it's exactly the same car. And then you go to Fiat and you get the Mega Panda, right? And then you you go to the next brand, to Lancia, to the new Ypsilon, which is exactly the same car again, just with different lights.
Which is ironic, the naming, because the original Lancia Ypsilon was a small, tiny little thing.
Yes. That was then rebadged as a Chrysler, as I think we mentioned.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? But the problem with, and then you've got the Jeep Avenger, which is on the same platform again, right? So basically, all these cars are going to be the same amount of money produced in the same factory, and you'll just go there, and all they'll have done is, what Stellantis have done, is ruin their pool of IP. You know, they're... So, and I think this is a mistake.
Yeah. I mean, you know more than I do, but...
Well, I know more about most things than you do.
That is true, yeah. But
having said that, I will take a 4x4 electric Panda, because I think that looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, look, I've always loved a 4x4 Panda. Great little car. Goes anywhere, does anything. It did have the funniest back seat. So I once did a jump in mine with two people sat in the back seat, right? And the back seat...
Did it lift off?
No. The back seat in the Panda at the time was two metal poles with cloth in between it, right? So it was basically like a hammock. Right. So it was like a hammock with seat belts. So basically what happened was they went up in the air, got caught in their seatbelt, landed, broke both of the where the metal poles went into the side of the car, snapped off, then fell out of the seatbelt into the boot.
Fucking hell.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, sounds.
It was like a stunt that you couldn't have made up.
Yeah, you couldn't do it again, could you?
No, you wouldn't want to do it again.
We should have a go at that. Yeah. Can we do it again? It's
no, we got into enough trouble with that sort of thing. But fundamentally, 4x4 Panda, good idea.
I quite like it, actually. I like the concept.
I will tell you that it won't look like that. In fact, I'll have a £50 bet with you that it won't look like that. And actually, I will challenge Stellantis, make this, or he will jump off a cliff.
I mean,
that's a deal, isn't it?
That is just lawyer abuse there.
Just catching the back end.
I think I've got my.
And this is just like from where your head was. It's just that.
Did my head improve it on the screen?
It looked like an X19, if you remember that.
It does. It looks a bit like
it's got that chop off at the back.
Yeah, it looks like a bit like a Fiat X19, which is you don't know either.
No, I don't. But I do like that.
And they rusted a lot as well.
They rusted an awful lot. Anyway, now. Probably time.
We got a letter.
For the letter.
Thank God.
So, what I can tell you is they did. No joke either. Look,
blimey.
They have addressed it to the Voltacious Wizards. The Voltacious Wizards of Voltsmonster.com.
Got a letter from Shelley this week.
Fucking hell. Voltacious Wizards.
They are. You are a Voltacious Wizard.
Virgil the Voltacious Wizard.
Anyway, I find myself at a crossroads. I often feel like that.
Yeah.
A junction in life where the currents of decision making have led me to your electrified doorstep. These get more poetic.
They are, aren't they? Yeah. It's like they're trying, isn't it?
Who
Really
writes
trying.
this shite?
I know.
What?
Really trying.
This is more Byron this one.
Yeah. You see, the universe, with its infinite wisdom and a sense of humour, has entrusted me with a bundle of joy, a puppy whose eyes sparkle with the same intensity as the dashboard of a fully charged EV. I'm sorry, but what it will do is it will piss you off for the next 6 months until you learn to love it after it's shat and pissed all over your house. Isn't that true?
It's true.
And those little eyes you want to punch out. Sorry, I don't punch dogs, before anyone says anything. This tiny creature is not just a pet. It's a shit-mobile. No, sorry. A symbol of the future, a four-legged testament to progress and sustainability.
Stretching it.
This is really like... Fucking hell. What sort of people watch this fucking podcast?
In this light, with the spirit of innovation nipping at my heels, quite literally, the puppy has sharp teeth. I seek your unparalleled expertise to embark on a mission most critical, naming the puppy.
Right.
Ooh.
Right, hang on.
Okay.
After an electric vehicle.
Okay.
Why, you ask? Because in the world where every bark is a reminder of our duty to the planet, what better inspiration than the vehicles you champion, the chariots of electrons that you drive us towards a greener tomorrow?
Electrons, well.
Oh dear. However, my journey through the electric lexicon has left me circling roundabouts of indecision. Thus I present you, O connoisseurs of current and canines, a plea for guidance. Below are 5 potential names, each a spark of inspiration drawn from the electric vehicles we all admire. I think that might be pushing it. But they lack your seal of approval and the jolt of creativity that only Voltsmonster team can provide.
Okay.
So the 5 they've suggested is Joule, Faraday, Electra, Volt and Watson. So
I'm fairly disappointed there wasn't Funky Cat on there.
right, well, we can get to that. So Joule, in the honour of the
You'd be a puppy, that's why.
Oh yeah, good point. In honour of the unit of electricity, I can't speak. In honour of the unit of energy, it symbolises both power within our furry friend and our electric vehicles we adore. Plus, it has a nice ring to it when calling your pup across a bustling dog park. What's a dog park?
A dog park. It's a park for dogs.
It's
Faraday, after the great scientist Michael Faraday, who contributed immensely to electromagnetism and electrochemistry. I thought that was just me. His name is fitting for a puppy that exhibits magnetic personality.
no.
And with a spark of mischief in her eyes.
There you go.
It's classical yet futuristic, a name that carries... Oh, sorry, no, I'm reading the wrong thing. So the next one, I missed out a whole name called Electra, a name that resonates with electricity essence of your mission.
Mm.
You didn't realise you had an essence of your mission.
I've got an essence of quite a few things, to be honest. But
The essence of your emissions are very bad.
It's vegan.
You're vegan, so that's always going to be bad.
I've got a lot
But
of
they
protein
don't
recently
linger.
as well.
That's the thing.
Well, apart from the skid mark in your pants. And
Fucking
then
hell.
the 4th one is Volt. Direct yet dynamic. The name speaks for the core of electric power, ideal for the dog with a vibrant personality. And then Watson, a playful twist on the unit of power. It has to explain this. What?
Son.
Right? Anyway. Sustainable living, clever sidekick, blah, blah, blah. Much like Sherlock Holmes, trusty Watson. Right. But it's spelt Watson. In this quest for the perfect name, your expertise is my guiding light, my north star, my kind of possibilities. I implore you to lend your thoughts and add your spark to this endeavour. Help christen the puppy with a name that embodies both our love for electric vehicles and the joy that only a pet can bring.
Right, okay, so that's mission
So
accepted.
come on then, Virgil.
Right, so all the options again. Go on. You've got Electra, you've got Watson.
Joule, Faraday, Electra, Volt or Watson. Or do you actually take it a step further and give them a 6th option?
I mean, I would, yeah.
Like Sparky, bitey fucker.
Yeah, Sparky.
Fucking bud.
after the South Park gay dog.
What is the South Park gay dog's name?
Sparky.
Sparky.
Is it really?
It is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sparky the gay South Park dog.
Yeah, it is. Goes to a big gay owl, doesn't he? He goes on Big Gay Owl's Big Gay Fun Ride.
Does he?
Does.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
I haven't
Yeah.
watched South Park for a number of years.
It's like the 4th, 5th episode of the first season, I think. So that was 1997.
That's way too much detail. How do you know that?
I
but
fucking
no,
love South Park.
how do you know
South
that
Park
but
is
not know
fantastic.
anything else?
I don't know. I mean, you employed me for a reason.
For a reason, we're still trying to find it. Every fucking day. Was why?
Every day.
Why do we employ it?
Why? Yeah, why?
Same with you, Mark. Same with you.
Well, what about
There's one. I think.
Peter
Well-
Dog Griffin?
Brian. Do you know what I mean? It's yeah.
There's a key element missing here, though, isn't it? I mean, do we know the sex of the puppy?
Oh no, we don't. That's a good point.
Yeah,
Actually,
That's
yeah,
good.
it does.
That may have
Although-
some
So it has to be
swirl.
unisex.
Well, Electra,
Electra.
it does imply that it's female.
It does, but then
Well,
Faraday.
But the other ones
Then
imply
Watson.
that they're male.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it's 2 puppies.
Yeah.
I think.
When did
not-
you
that's
last
not-
play with your
yeah.
puppies?
I think I might go for the 6 option actually. I think we're missing an ohm. Yeah.
Oh, good one.
Oh, yeah, that's
That
not a
would
bad idea. Yeah, yeah.
Really cool. That sounds more like a
The only
Zen
down-
hippie
Hang
type
on,
dog.
there is a problem with that. Right? You're in the park. The
Yeah,
dog.
that's-
You're gonna sit there going,
No.
The tube.
Like, you're in the park. The dog has run off in that direction. Your child has run off in that direction. You have to decide which you like most. Probably the dog, right? And then you shout "Home," and it goes. Did you say go home? And then it fucks off and runs down the street
And
all
gets
the way
run
home.
over.
Yeah. So there is a downside.
Yeah, maybe that's not a good idea then. Yeah.
No. What else we got?
Well, you could also call it Kelvin.
Yeah, that's not a bad one actually.
Which
yeah.
I realise is a temperature,
Yeah.
right? Which is nothing to do with electricity.
That's why.
That's a
So,
light
yeah.
as well, isn't
But it is a light.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, and you know Kelvin, the
Yeah.
colour of what you're watching right now. You know, I know
So-
some shit.
And obviously, in your naming land, because obviously we established previously that in your world
Yeah.
of Benjamins and Benedicts, and obviously your family
3 letters,
only name things with 3 letters.
and also things that are black as well.
So it has,
yeah, I think so. Black.
Labrador was black.
it's got to be ohm then, doesn't it?
Is it?
I mean, it's
What? Not Sparky Bitey fucker.
No, I do like Sparky, but you know there is something that already exists, so it has to be original. You know, it has to be-
Okay.
it has to be creative from us, doesn't it? Ohms. Sorry about that.
Sorry
Ohm
about
is
that
Ohm is about.
Is it like Omi? Like,
Yeah,
like
you
down
can
with
call
the
it
Omi?
Omi. Yeah.
The kids, like,
So is that what we're going for?
I reckon Omi.
go for Omi.
Omi.
Yeah.
There's the answer. Name your
Yeah.
dog Omi. Send us a picture, and if we don't like it, what can we say?
Tough shit.
Battersea.
Batsy.
Patsy.
What is the name?
No, if you don't like it.
Oh, okay.
Battersea.
Yeah. And obviously, if it bites you, it's nothing to do with us. If it runs away when you shout home and gets run over,
Not
equally
alright.
not our problem either.
No.
But anyway, thank you for that letter. Obviously, if you want to feature on Voltsmonster,
Send us one.
send us one in.
Mhm.
Just please just make it less poetic. You know, like just get.
I love the
Yeah,
po-
don't be so wordy. Just
they are a bit long.
They are long. I mean, you could just said like.
why can't
choose
you
a
do?
name.
Yeah, why couldn't someone just send us an email with "I've got a dog.
Could you call it?
What shall I call it?"
Exactly.
Thanks.
Rather than the
That's a whole fucking page there. That was an essay.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
You could submit that to an English writing exam and
I
they'd love it.
Exactly.
do like the Voltacious Wizards bit there.
Yeah, we are Voltacious Wizards. Remember that.
I
So
don't know, but-
that does remind me of a bit like the KLF. It sounds like that's like a KLF song, isn't it?
The Justified and Ancient.
Yeah, the Justified Nature.
No idea, but
You'd like KLF.
You would like KLF.
what does
Yeah.
KLS stand for?
Uh,
What was it?
I can't remember
No
what it stood
idea. What was a KLF?
it was like Klingons live forever or something.
Something like that, yeah.
But anyway,
But they were
it was
just-
something equally weird.
They were
Okay.
the Justified Ancients of Moo before.
Yeah, they were the Justified Ancients of Mumu.
Or the
JAO
Jams.
M. Jaum.
So there you go. So obviously you're the less justified ancient of Totnes. So
Does that make me a Jat?
possibly, or your other
Or a
nickname,
Shat?
yeah, well, quite. Or you could just be like running man of Totnes with broken back, broken lungs,
Broken everything.
slipped ears.
Forrest Gump.
Slipped ears.
Yeah. Well, we were talking previously about you not having your hair cut, just that gravity made the move down.
Oh, right, yeah.
Have we got any more stories?
Oh, we don't actually know, but I can find one if you like, 'cause there is something else.
Is there?
Ooh,
There
cool.
is, yeah. So Apple have stopped producing it. It's it's no longer thinking about producing an electric car. It's,
Oh, I thought you were going to come out.
oh, really? No, I'm already out.
Oh, okay.
Bit underwhelming, that.
Apple.
So is your new nickname Sparky then?
Well, you can call me that if you want. Just
I tell you who else was called Sparky. Was in National Lampoon's Vacation. The dad.
He was Sparky,
the
yes.
wife, who I had kind of the hots for, given she was middle-aged, right? She used to call Chevy Chase Sparky.
Mm-hmm.
So is he the gay dog in South Park? Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah.
Maybe we could tweet him and ask, Chevy Chase, are you Sparky the gay dog?
Oh, hang on.
What
Do
are you
want
doing?
me to send
Trying
you the
to
link,
find the story?
Benedict?
I've got it here.
It's
Right,
there.
Fuck it, this one. Right.
Got it.
It's quite big news, but Tim Cook.
Well, yes, there's Tim Cock.
Yeah.
Obviously, he couldn't produce something dull as dishwater and then resell it repeatedly in a different colour. So he decided no longer to make cars, because obviously they'd have to come in different colours in the first place.
Yeah.
But I do love that Fortune magazine used the pun, Apple pulls the plug on trying to create its own electric car after a decade, right? And plans to reassign 2,000 workers.
2001. That's
Can I just ask you, right? JLR in like Coventry doesn't
They don't
employ
have that many, do
they
they?
don't have that many staff, and they manage to produce cars. Obviously, it might explain something.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
They do go wrong a lot.
What were they
Miss
doing?
Baylor.
What were 2,000 people doing for 10 years? They built a fucking pyramid in that period of time with less people.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
So, Tim Cook, can you explain how ancient Egyptians, assuming that's who it was, right, built a pyramid with less people in less time than you could produce one car?
I love it. Have a look at this. Elon Musk, head of Tesla, also celebrating the move. He sent a post on X with a saluting emoji. I wonder why.
Well, surely it was more like...
Probably, yeah.
And I can tell you that when Tesla invented the electric car that they produced, they didn't actually make a car. They bought one from Lotus, put laptop batteries in it, went, electric car. And then they built their next car by going, has anyone got any idea what a car looks like? So they went to AI, early AI, and went, show us a picture of a car, which was basically Google. And it showed them like a Ford Sierra from the 90s. They went, that's what we need to build.
I've always wondered why the Model S looked... Was it the S or the Y? I don't know which one. It does look like a stretched Sierra, basically.
It does, yeah.
It's like-
So I'm telling you, like that's a Lotus, right?
Yeah.
Right? That is horrible. That's all right. So they've obviously, but that's not real yet.
Yet.
Hopefully it will do better than his recent space launches though. And the Cybertruck.
And the Cybertruck.
Because the Cybertruck is another example
bit
of
of a failure, isn't it?
Gigawallet's failure to employ anyone with any skills. Excuse me. So did we have a comment on Mr.
On that?
Cox,
Well, I think
Cooks?
Well, it's the second time that they've sort of cancelled projects, isn't it? The first one was the charging pad that sort of went a bit, you know, all that hype, and there's a lot of hype around the Apple car as well. But now that he's sort of just, it's becoming a bit of a pattern, isn't it? Really. And that's not.
Do you
that's
think
not
when
good
they
for
get
Apple.
it out there, they'll crack it? Because it's kind of like the Newton. I don't know if you remember. Well, you wouldn't remember probably, but the Newton was a PDA back in the early '90s that Apple came up with.
That's why I don't remember that.
That didn't work either.
Didn't work. But
Palm
it
Pilot.
was essentially, it was a Palm Pilot, but it was the precursor of the iPhone.
tablet.
I guess they were just years ahead.
Yeah.
But Sony invented the Walkman, and then Tesla, Tim Cook rather, or whoever it was. Who was the bloke that died?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs. Jobby basically went, let's do that, and then let's put the volume button the wrong way round.
Well, good job, mate.
Right, so what is the next project that
For
Apple won't complete?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. What do you reckon? So,
Are we going to bet on this?
It's got to be the Apple TV because as well there's the Apple TV.
Is that
something
even
which-
still a thing?
Yeah, I mean it was for years. Apple TV was going to be an actual physical TV.
Yeah, and then it became basically a Roku.
I reckon the Apple glasses, because I reckon, you know, they've gone to the VR stuff.
Is that the thing that looks like this, where you have to wear it on your face like...
Yeah, with a massive cable. So that's the Apple Vision Pro. But I reckon they're going to transition to something more like you and I, these sort of glasses.
But Ray-Ban already makes something like that.
Yeah, but
now.
then Apple are going to try and they're going to fail because it won't be Apple enough.
What? Because they won't be able to repeatedly sell it to stupid people with new chargers every time.
Basically. Lightning.
Yeah, lightning connector.
It's just weird though, because Apple have kind of gone back on the. We mentioned about the Stellantis platform earlier, and sort of diversifying or shoving your eggs into one basket with the market. They did the same thing with the iMac. The original version of the iMac, they just came out with 10 different colours.
But that was classed as an upgrade in the 90s.
Yeah, I
In
guess
2000. Everyone wanted one, but
the
they were
only-
shit.
they were shit. Yeah,
They were awful things. It was basically a CRT screen with like a ZX Spectrum in it. And everyone went, oh yeah, it's brilliant. You can't get a virus on it. No, because it's shit. Because no one wants to actually try and hack it.
but I had the precursors.
Because no software ran on it.
They did. The OS, Apple OS ran on it.
Well, okay, so the Apple's own software ran on it.
That was the whole.
But no one else's software ran on
Nobody
it. None of
else's.
the software you actually wanted to use ran on it.
I remember using Microsoft.
And you couldn't play Prince of Persia on it.
Fucking hell.
I had the precursor of the iMac, which was the Performer 5200, which actually was a really good.
That
computer.
summarises your life, doesn't it?
It does.
Performer 5200. And on that note,
What have we learnt?
what have we learnt today?
Well,
We've learnt that
Stellantis are making a mistake.
Stellantis are making a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So Stellantis, stop. We love Fiat small cars.
Yes.
Apparently we do.
And I'm not alone. Even Jeremy Clarkson would agree with me. James May would definitely agree
James
with
May
me.
would.
Obviously, he is an old, miserable. Anyway, won't
I
get into
kind of
that.
like James May.
But you would. You're the same age.
It's only a year difference between us.
Who? What, between you and James May? Yeah, I know.
You.
So what else have we learned apart from Chevy Chase might be the dog out of South Park? Revelation.
We've learned that I know lots, just not as much as this guy.
No. We established that you know nothing apart from useless shit and know nothing like what I know.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we established?
No, but yeah.
No, but yeah.
No, but yeah.
No, but yeah.
And we also established that Mark hasn't molested any mammals this week.
Not this week.
Oh well, I mean that's a round of applause, isn't it? Sorry.
Yeah.
Well done, Mark.
Well done.
We're gonna get you there one day.
I actually did get a call out this week, which was probably related to the bomb being disposed of in Plymouth.
Oh.
That when they.
So basically they blew up a mammal.
We think so.
Fucking hell. Do you know what mammal was?
Why didn't they just blow up people in Plymouth? It would have been cheaper.
It would have been cheaper, yeah. And probably would have improved Plymouth Town Centre. Which needs some.
Well, it would save them having to cut down trees that they weren't supposed
They were
to.
supposed to, yeah.
What else can we say? So, on that note, we have established that a mammal was murdered by the Royal Navy, and Steve Jobs will no doubt produce, or not Steve Jobs, Tim Cook, will now possibly beyond the grave, you never know, will produce some useless piece of crap that no one wants, rebadge it 50 times, and then all you Muppets who buy Apple shit will buy it. And then it will be cancelled. And then on top of that, the last thing we've learned is Elon Musk will make some grandiose gesture about something that he really shouldn't do other than for pure publicity. And on that note, brings Voltsmonster. No, 19 to an end.
Wow. Well, right.
And it's bye from Virgil.
Goodbye.
It's bye from Karen.
Bye-bye.
And it's bye from me, of all no name.
What
And
right?
the dog called home.
Yeah.
Oh.